Hey everybody, Jangro here. Welcome back to Beyond the Horizons. This is episode 3. And in this episode, we've got some cool stuff planned. We're going to do a quick start into Forbidden and Arcanus. Let's demystify that mysterious mod. Stick around. All right, let's take a look. Oh, all right. Are there any more of you guys? Yes. This gold scythe I found from Simply Swords is pretty amazing because it has mending. So it's basically an unbreaking weapon with looting 2 on it. Where's your boss? We've also got a rat over here from the rats mod. We can tame these guys, but for now, we can cook up some rat. Let's put that right into the smoker. And rat pelt. The whole rats mod is pretty great. You can use rats for automation. 18 minutes for some cooked rat. Looks good. All right, back to the clipboard. Here's what we're going to do in this episode. We're going to do some upgrades just because I think at least I neglect to think about upgrading things. The Gyrodyne can be upgraded. It can be a much faster mode of transportation. We're going to upgrade the backpack, and I'm going to put the magnet and feeding modules on there. But most importantly, I want to get started on Forbidden and Arcanus. I think this mod has a bad reputation, and with all respect to those great people, it's warranted because there's just a general lack of documentation. But we have added a chapter in the guidebook here, which will help a lot. This Hephaestus Forge multi-block is one reason. It's just really hard to find how to make that anywhere. So this should help with that. But the best part about Forbidden and Arcanus is just some of these little items that we have in here. The Holy Grail is kind of this eternal, it's called an eternal modifier now, or eternal stella. If you apply that to any tool or any armor, it becomes unbreakable, which is just amazing. There's all kinds of other things you can make in the forge. These prisms that you can apply to tools, they basically modify different tools and things. We're not going to get into that too much. That's later game stuff, but I do want to focus on just some of the really cool things that are in here. For example, a Slimec Pickaxe is an early way to get Silk Touch. The Gavels are great for mining. They give you more ores, so it's kind of like getting quick fortune on a mining tool. We talked about the Quantum Catcher in an earlier episode. That's amazing. It's basically a Pokeball. These Edelwood buckets are cool. They can hold multiple fluids. It all starts, though, with this Mandabitur dust, which we need to use to get Deorum, which is an ore that, for example, we need to make the Slimec Pickaxe. For the Golden Orchid, which will allow us to grow unlimited Deorum, we just need to get 1 Deorum to make that orchid. And that's what we're going to do in this episode. So my goal is to kind of help break down that barrier of starting with Forbidden and Arcanus, because it really is a great mod and it's beautifully designed with a bunch of great artwork. But first, let's talk about upgrading our backpack. So we can put upgrades in the sophisticated backpack, which is actually really easy to make a backpack. I've upgraded mine to diamond. So there's different tiers of backpacks and they give you more upgrades, more storage slots. Really easy to start out with a basic backpack. And you can upgrade them with these upgrade base, which allows you to make these different upgrades. Like a magnet upgrade allows you to it'll pick stuff up and put it right into the backpacks. So if you're doing mining, especially with the building wand, which does vein mining, you can just suck everything right into your backpack. The other thing I want to get to as quickly as I can is this feeding upgrade, because food is so important in this mod pack. You want to keep your multiple foods fed. The feeding upgrade will do that for you. So let's quickly make those. So the upgrade base itself is just iron, string, and leather. We'll just make 4 templates. And now for the magnet upgrade, we need a couple of ender pearls, iron, lapis, and redstone. So that requires a pickup upgrade, sticky piston. All right, there's the pickup upgrade. And so that will automatically pick things up that are within your reach and put them in the backpack instead of your inventory. Magnet upgrade, we can make that. The extended one allows filtering, I believe, and gives you, well, there it is right there in the tooltip. Greater range filtering options is actually affordable. Let's just go for it. There we go. Advanced magnet upgrade. Let's see. And the feeding upgrade, we need golden apple, carrots, and glistening melon slice. All right, I'm not ready for that yet. I need to go find some melons. I have carrots, and I'm sure I've got apples around. We can make the carrot right now, but I don't have the melon or apple. Well, let's put the magnet upgrade into the backpack. So this is how where upgrades go. You can turn them on and off. Magnets can be annoying at times, so you can turn that off just like that. All right, let's upgrade our Gyrodyne with the steel boiler, which gives us more engine power, which will allow us to go faster. It has 3 upgrade slots that we can put stuff in here. So maybe I can also make a propeller, which is iron sheets and some andesite alloy. The boiler is just blast furnace, boiler, copper, furnace. All right, I'm going to make these 2 items quickly. I have all these materials. Iron plates come from an engineer's hammer and some iron. I definitely want to make a create mechanical press as quickly as I can. Iron sheets are going to be used in a lot of different recipes in this pack. And let's make some andesite alloy. All right, there's the propeller. Enhanced propeller. Less air friction. So I think that might make us faster. It also might just make us fly straighter, if I remember correctly. Okay, now the boiler. Boiler. Steel boiler. Blast furnace. Steel boiler. Okay. Let's jump in the Gyrodyne first. Just as a reminder for what the basic Gyrodyne is like. So it's kind of slow. And I think if it's windy, you kind of get blown around a little bit, but that doesn't seem to be happening right now. Let's see what adding these upgrades will do for us. Yeah, that is a good deal faster. Okay, we need to find apples and melons. And there's a jungle, I think. I had Distant Horizons turned off for a second there. I was testing something earlier. So yeah, I think I've got a jungle over here, but we'll head over to our base. Maybe we've got some apples, but I just need to find some melons on the way. Well, as it happens sometimes, the last hour of gameplay had no video recorded. Sometimes that just happens with OBS. So you missed me finding melons and in the process got killed by a necromancer, flew around, found several structures and another waystone at a tower in the mountains. So that's sad, but that's all right. And a rat infestation, apparently. All right, let's continue with the episode. All right, moving on. Let's make this feeding upgrade. I'm pretty excited about that. So I did get an apple and I got some melon slices. Let's make those gold versions. Oh, golden apple. That needs ingots, doesn't it? Yes. And how about the glistening melon? Right, that's nuggets. Okay, so now we should be able to make this feeding upgrade. And while we're at it, let's make the advanced feeding upgrade, not that expensive. All right, now let's put this into our backpack and see what happens. I am hungry. I've got some food in here. Let's see if it is discerning about what it uses to feed me. All right, it ate an onion. It ate a baked potato. And it ate some of this salted jerky. All right, that is going to be amazing. So me being hungry is why I got killed by that necromancer who one-shot me with an icicle. So let's take another look at this feeding upgrade. I think the advanced one has some extra settings here. I think without that upgrade, we don't get to choose these options. Only feed when the player is hungry enough to only waste half the hunger points of the food. That only really applies to vanilla, I think. You can't eat unless the hunger bar in Spice of Life is down to red. And feed player immediately when hurt. So we can put some items in here if we want to make sure we only eat certain things. But we'll just let it go. But yeah, we've got a number of different food items in our backpack here. Awesome. Let's check our clipboard, upgrade the Gyrodyne, upgrade the backpack. Next, let's get going on Forbidden Arcanus. All right. It's a blood moon. And instead of waiting it out, I thought I'd just press on. Let's continue on with Forbidden and Arcanus and talk about that. The blood moon, by the way, happens I'm not sure exactly when it happens, but there it is up there. But it means that mobs can spawn in the overworld. So in this mod pack, we have a mod that I think it's called Friendly Overworld, maybe, that prevents mobs from spawning in the overworld. So it's pretty safe even at night, except during a blood moon. These immersive engineering powered lanterns act like mega torches. They prevent mobs from spawning in a pretty big area. So I'm hoping they are going to keep me somewhat safe. Well, let's talk about Forbidden and Arcanus. Again, in the quest book, we've added a section that talks about this multi-block structure. The Holy Grail, again, is this Eternal Stella, which if we add to any tool or any breakable item, honestly, it will make it unbreakable. It will mend something that has damage on it already, and that thing will never get damage again. There's also another multi-block called the Klebano Furnace, and it is basically a big smelter. It can smelt 2 items at a time. There's a couple other good items in here. We're going to work toward getting the Slimec Pickaxe so I can get some easy silk touch without worrying about getting villagers right now. All right, the blood moon's over. Let's take a look at how to make Deorum and what it's for. So it's kind of the base metal in Forbidden Arcanus. It also works as arcane gold from the Eidolon mod. We've just kind of made it compatible with that, so we can make some Eidolon things with it. But to make the Slimec pickaxe, we need 3 of those slime, some edelwood sticks, and a golden feather, which comes from Deorum, and a feather. So that's where we need to head first. And there's a couple ways to get Deorum. One is with charcoal, arcane crystal dust, gold, Spindabiter dust, 2 of them. And for that, we need a bunch of pretty tough to get things like Phantom Membrane and Blaze Powder, more crystal dust. There's some early game running around to get some things to get here, but I think it's worth it. The Arcane Crystal Dust, there's a couple ways to make that. We can get it from these Crystal Dust specs. I'll show you how to get those. Or if we can find some Arcane Crystal by just mining, it's pretty easy to find, especially with shaders on because it's really bright blue circular blobs in blocks. We can smelt that into dust as well. Now I have mined up some of these. Another thing this is useful for is crafting the quantum catcher. A block of the arcane crystal with some spawner scraps gets you this quantum catcher from Forbidden Arcanus, which is like a Pokeball. I have one of those right here. So that's a really great thing to have. It helps you move mobs around, including villagers or really any mob at all. Great item to get. Let's grab some of this crystal and smelt that into some dust. But if you don't have any arcane crystal, there's other ways to get it. One are these Nipa plants. Now, I got these Nipa plants from a wandering trader. They sell them in this pack, and they also sell this yellow orchid. And yellow orchid is our way to get Deorum much more reliably. We can basically grow it. We use the yellow orchid combined with Deorum to get golden orchid seeds. So we really just need, and the golden orchid seeds planted will grow golden orchids, which when you harvest them produce Deorum ingots. So that is the way to get Deorum on a more reliable basis. So if I plant these things, let's just plant them right here. Get some orchids. We'll plant these Nipa plants. If you can't find a wandering trader that's selling either of these things, you can find yellow orchids in a flower forest. There should be maps to those Pathfinder maps to flower forests around in Loot. And the Nipa, you can find structures in the world. And amazingly, I have a Nipa structure right down here. You can find them in just around the world. Look for these flowers surrounded by these 4 oak trees. And this right here is a Nipa that has grown its arcane crystal dust spec. So it's a pretty slow way to get arcane crystal dust because we have to wait for 9 of those to grow. That's pretty amazing that this is just coincidentally right here in my backyard. There's also in this mod some sky structures, but I think those sky structures are disabled in this pack. So yeah, it takes a while for those to grow, but once we do, we'll get these specs and we can make more dust with them. So I have some here. So let's start to craft some of these things. We'll just craft these into some more dust. I've got some more dust right here. And let's grab the ingredients for the mandabatur. And there we go. We've got 4 of those. And now I can make a Deorum ingot. And combining the yellow orchid with a Deorum ingot, I can get these golden orchid seeds. And we want to plant these. However, let's just confirm it. We cannot plant these on regular farmland. We have to make special farmland, which is listed right here in the guidebook. This this magical farmland is what we need to plant the Deorum on. And for that we need this arcane bone meal, which is dust and some bone meal around it. Just make 4 of those for now. Keep that dust in case we need it. So now if we put this on the farmland, I wonder if it needs water also. You know, let's not take any chances on wasting that. So let's put it right here. And we've got some magical farmland. And now we can plant the golden orchid on it. And if we bone meal it, we get, that scared me for a second, we get Deorum nuggets. And there we go. Now we've got reproducible Deorum. See, here's these Nipa grew their specks. And there we go. Let's get ourselves some more Deorum. You can probably imagine some automated ways to do this with Create. I've done this before with Create. You can use harvesters on golden orchids. All right, there we go. We've got some arcane gold ingots. Now to make the Slimec. Again, we need a golden feather, a slime ball, a couple of edelwood sticks. Edelwood sticks we get from edelwood logs. I might need to go hunting for some of those. But let's make the golden feather. And I'm pretty sure I have slime. There we go. I've got slime ball. And let's just go find edelwood sticks. And I'll show you the edelwood bucket on the way. It's pretty neat. It holds 4 buckets of water in it. It also will hold, like, you can pick up chickens with it, which then gives you, I think, a buff if you're holding a bucket of chicken. So it's, well, it's not a bucket of chicken like KFC, but a chicken in a bucket, I believe. Yeah, so you can put all kinds of mobs into an edelwood bucket. And I think some of them give you buffs when you're carrying them. Look at this. You can carry buckets of mushroom stew. So these buckets are pretty useful. 3 lava, 4 water, 4 milk. So where those things don't normally stack, you can get stacks of those buckets. All right, where am I going to find? We have a dark forest. That's where these trees are. Actually, I'm going to run down here and just because I know where there is some edelwood trees. I just want to show you this little bit of world gen stuff going on here. You can see here, injury will cause me to get fed. It doesn't always feed you unless you're hurt. The auto feeder in the backpack. Okay, so just over here, I'm looking for water because one of the things I want to do is set up some automated fishing. So that's for a future episode, but I've been working on that over here. Bear with me a second. Let's just get there. There's a lush cave right under the base in addition to the ancient city. Really cool world gen around here. So I just kind of built this kind of dock area. I'm planning on a fishing setup over here, but you can see right over here, there's an edelwood log. There's one up there on that cliff. A plague doctor. Okay, so let's just go over here and harvest some of these Edelwood logs. Some of them have Edelwood sticks on them. So we get a carved Edelwood log, which has the face on it, the Edelwood log itself, which we can use these to make. I don't know if we can craft Edelwood sticks. No, it does not seem we can craft Edelwood sticks. So we just need to find them around. They grow on these trees, the Edelwood trees, which really aren't even trees. Let's go see if there's sticks on this one. I'm going to just continue my hunt. Okay, here's a Edelwood log with sticks on it, branches on it, and that'll give us sticks. There we go. So there's some sticks. 2 Edelwood sticks from that. I'm just going to run back. I'm going to run back home through this forest and just grab some more of these Edelwood logs. You can see they're all over the place in dark forests. Wow. While we're here, let's just grab a bunch of mushrooms for some mushroom stew to put in these Edelwood buckets. Dark forest is not safe. What in the world? All right, here we are home again. And now I think we have everything we need for the Slimec Pickaxe. And there it is. As you can see, it has Silk Touch on it. And now we can just go mine ores and blocks. So we'll get some regular stone, Silk Touch. Now we can get iron ore. And that's going to set us up for ore multiplying, because you need generally to start with the ores instead of the raw ores for that. So for example, crushing wheel, we get 1.75. And with I think the best chance is the squeezer. Yeah, the integrated dynamic squeezer gives us 2.75. The mechanical squeezer gives us 3 plus a half plus a half. Not sure what that math is, but there's a chance at 5 with the mechanical squeezer. Now that we have Silk Touch, I think that's where we are going to head next. So like diamond ore, for example, with the squeezer, yeah, we get 2.5. Crusher gives us 2. Sag mill from Ender.io gives us at least 2. So some good ore multiplying opportunities in this pack, which we'll definitely want to head into probably with the squeezer next time. So I think that will do it. I hope that gives you an idea on how to get started in Forbidden in Arcanus. It's a really cool, underrated mod. It's hard to get into because of the lack of documentation. I'll continue on and we'll get to Eternal Stella sometime in the future. All right, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I appreciate you.